Hello and welcome to this session to end binging, whatever kind you have. It's going to use some self-hypnosis and just some understanding of what's happening in the binging process so that you can end it. We're going to be pointing to the foundation of how this works. So this works on any kind of binging. So whether it's food or even cigarettes or even heavy drugs. If you have presence, if you have will, desire to overcome the binging, going to be showing the deep mechanisms at play. I call it self-hypnotic because I can't see you. I'm not going to try to put you into a trance, but I'm going to guide you to put yourself not into a trance, but into a process where you navigate through states of awareness. In this process, you will come to understand how trance is natural and how you may utilize it to good effect. Whenever a trauma is created, it happens in a trance state. And whenever trauma is resolved, it happens in a trance state. In fact, whenever the mind changes, it happens through a trance state, when the conscious and the unconscious mind are resonating together. And so it's this resonance that we are going to invite in here by inviting you to notice some things that are true for you. That's the whole way. So if you'd like to notice some things that are true for you, and you'd like to resolve binging, let's go. There's no reason to binge, to give ourselves something that we know we don't need. We may think we want it. This is where the confusion lies. This is what we're going to untangle in this session. I would like for you to hold the belief that your breath matters most, more than my words. You'll hear everything I say, and you'll agree that everything I say is true and with good intention. If I was to say anything not true or with good intention, you would immediately alert to that and choose a different video to watch. We're going to be talking about binging, but your breath matters most. Now, as I hear that myself, my breath shifts. I want to let my breath shift into whatever way of being is most comfortable, into whatever way of breathing is most comfortable. Find your most comfortable breath in this moment and in all of the subsequent moments to come in this video. In fact, in life, it would always behoove us to breathe in the most comfortable way. And so it's interesting to notice if we can make our breath more comfortable by wondering how comfortable our breath could be. Why weren't we doing that already? So a huge opportunity. One, to find the pace of your most comfortable breath, which will change in each moment. So track that. That is our consciousness and our unconscious mind starting to do the same thing. So we can go into trance. We can also break trance easily at any time just by saying no. That creates this division. Suddenly everything is what it is. It's very useful to be able to go into trance. It's very useful to be able to break trance. It's also very easy. The easiest way to go into trance is just to imagine that you're in trance, because if you imagine you're in trance, you must be in trance. It's just the way that it works. Your conscious and your unconscious mind are doing the same thing. And so as you allow your breath to become more and more comfortable, I'd like for you to also relax your eyes. In fact, better than relax the eyes is don't relax the eyes, but feel the tension that is there in the eyes in all times. Our eyes are always tense. They're always looking around. They're always more or less scanning for threats and danger. When you feel the tension in your eyes and don't react to it, your eyes stop doing that. And then they begin to relax. And as you hold the tension, you can start to feel the tension and the relaxation in the eyes. And this will allow your breath to deepen and become more beautiful. Let that happen. Now we're going to be focusing on things like urges and binges and desires and actions and reactions and this whole complex world that happens inside of you when you are in this process of binging. Come back to your breath in your eyes now, gently, and as much as we can, let them carry forward through this session. You having your breath, me having my breath, you having the softness and holding the tension in your eyes, and me the same in mine. We want to get rid of shame. And I'm going to invite you to pause the video in a moment because we don't want to go forward with shame. Shame gets in the way. Same with guilt. They're not actually emotions. They're stories that we hold to manipulate ourselves. And they keep us trapped in this predicament. So the urge comes up and we binge and then we beat ourselves up and we think that this is our only tool to get us to stop the binge, is punish ourselves for having done the thing. It makes sense. Parents will do that oftentimes, punish their children. But you'll notice that as the binging gets bigger, so does the shame. It's not working, is it? Well, fortunately, the shame is not true. The shame says, I'm bad for doing the thing. And it's not true. On its most deepest foundational level, it's not true. I'm not going to go deeply into that, but if you would like to know the truth of how that's not true, I would recommend book a session, get to understand what is the truth of am I in my shame? No, no. This is a way that we use to try to get ourselves to stop this. They're two parts of the same dysfunctional dynamic. Your breath is more important than my words. My breath is more important than my words. And the tension in the eyes is welcome. It's not a problem. We don't need it to go away. We just need to be able to feel it and not react. So if all this shame can go away, that'd be great. But it's not going to go away by me saying it should go away. But it can go away by tapping. If you have shame and it remains stronger than a 3 or a 4, I would suggest not going forward with the video because that shame will undermine the work. If the shame is about a 3 or 4 out of 10, that's okay, it's on the edge. Either way, let's tap on it. What we're going to do is we're going to welcome the shame while tapping on these points of the face and upper chest with 2 fingers, tapping 5 or 7 times. Slowly is sufficient, kindly, while being with the shame and not holding on to it. Breathing as comfortably as we can, finding the pace of our breath, and holding the tension in the eyes. Tapping in this way through a couple times, while welcoming the shame and not believing it, is very likely to cause it to drop in intensity a point or 2. And ideally, we would like it to go all the way away, as soon as we can replace the shame with the healthy behaviors, driven by the goodness of our intentions too. And then it's nice to sweep any tension away that might remain, help ourselves feel clear. So I'm going to trust that shame is now to the side. If it comes back, pause the video and tap through a couple times. Jump back to this point in the video if you like to be guided through it. And make sure that you proceed not triggered more than a 3 or a 4, ideally a 3. Two or one is fine also, but it's kind of nice to feel these things when we're tapping. Like we're going to be focusing on these behaviors of binging. Let's fortify our breath and our eyes. Good. Now, so when we try to beat ourselves up and figure out why and ask ourselves, how do I stop? That's coming at it backwards and it doesn't work. What we need to do is get upstream and get to the cause of the behaviors and dissolve those. By the way, it's easy, it's pleasant, it's not a problem. Once we understand the work and get in the habit of it, of course we're going to do that because we don't want these behaviors that don't serve us. So to start, here we are with eyes tension held, meaning our eyes are kind of steady, and our breath is most conducive for who we are. We keep coming back to this because this is so deep and foundational and useful all over the place. We'd like to always be this way. And here we go. You know, there's this wanting. You know, what is it that we're binging on? If you have, you might pause the video and get a piece of paper and write down a few things because there's a progression that happens here. As we progress, there's something that we want to get away from, for sure. Like, is it boredom? Is it discomfort, pain? Do we want rest? We're agitated. There's something we don't like, for sure. By the way, if you think of that and are triggered more than a 3 or a 4, pause the video and tap. And if it's just you acknowledge the discomfort of it, well then find out how you'd like to breathe in the presence of this discomfort. And hold the tension of the eyes. These discomforts are welcome. They're not a problem. It may be a sense of emptiness. Maybe it's loneliness. Recognize what it is that you're trying to get away from. Take your time. We're going slowly because this is where we want to be. This is where we want to get to. The binging, the indulgence, is a response, not a problem. It's the nervous system doing something that once worked to put you in a better place. It became a habit. And what was it? The flooding of sensations, the numbing out, the predictable loop of comfort, how it feels to give something to ourselves. Like there's a reason that we do these actions. So we want to see, what is it that I'm trying to get away from? And then, we really do want to get away from it. Maybe we want to check out in this way or that or the other. Like, thank you, unconscious mind, for offering a solution to my problem, but maybe I don't want to check out. Maybe that's not a good solution for my problem. Well, great. Let's go further. Let's go deeper. I'm trusting you're at a 3 or less. I insist, if you're more than that, it won't work to push through. We want to find the comfort. If you can't get comfort down well enough, I'm pretty sure if you had a session, I could help you access that comfort pretty easily. So, assuming that we're comfortable, let's go on. There's something I want to get away from, for sure. See it. Know what it is. Name it. There may be a bunch. There may be a whole bunch of them. And they may be really strong. If that's the case, that's how important this skill that I'm teaching you is. This is a training. This is a way not just to solve a problem, but to know how to solve the problem. There's the problem, and there's the wanting to solve it. Of course, you do, I'm sure. You do want to solve it. Can you feel that? Can you feel what it feels like to want to solve the problem? Take the time. You may not really feel it. You may feel it. Great, keep feeling it. Where do you feel it in your body? If you can't feel it, keep looking kindly, soft eyes, beautiful breath, because you should be comfortable doing this work. There's nothing hard to do here. This is a beautiful opportunity to feel the wanting, the kind, genuine goodness, your love of goodness. Of course. Of course you want freedom from boredom and illness and pain, fear and suffering. Of course you want that. Invite yourself to see that wanting. In fact, gather yourself around that wanting and see if you can feel it in your breath. See if you can feel that wanting in your breath. It's not a problem. The wanting is not unpleasurable. It's beautiful. I want freedom. I want health. I want safety. I want happiness. Let yourself have that. Let yourself enjoy that. It was here before when we didn't notice it. And we were lost downstream, struggling with the responses and the reactions to the reactions. But here we are at the source. I want good things for myself. And I can feel it. Can you let yourself enjoy this wanting? Now, wanting, if unsatisfied, can be unpleasurable. I'm talking about the pleasure itself. You know, if someone's trying to quit smoking, one of the strongest addictions people can have is to nicotine. And when we really, really want that, we have that urge to have the thing, and we're fighting ourselves to not have the thing. I found you can focus on the wanting of the thing, and if you gather yourself just on that wanting and feel it in the breath, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. This is an amazing support in helping people to quit smoking, is to learn to really love the feeling of wanting something, anything, because that wanting is our heart's desire. And we can feel it in the breath because it's ours, it's our depth, it's meaningful. Have it. It's beautiful. And let it spread through your field of awareness. Let this wanting for this, of course I want to be free from boredom. Of course I want to be free from danger. I want that, and it's a beautiful wanting. Free from loneliness. But now, what happens is this wanting, when it's not conscious, when it's unconscious, it starts firing off programs designed to bring us happiness that are not working. No problem. But let's get to know these urges, these movements of volition. They're not the love itself. They're more like a will. They're like on a mission. It's energy bound up going to get what you want. But it's your energy giving something you know you don't need, that you don't want it. The wanting is the freedom and the joy and the light. Suppose I go to the fridge and I'm wanting food. Well, I'm actually trying to get away from something that I don't like. I'm agitated, I'm afraid, I'm stressed. And so I think, ooh, wouldn't it be nice to have something from the fridge? And I go to the fridge. I'm not really feeling the wanting, and not fully. I'm thinking once I get the thing and satisfy the urge, I will be in a better place. It's not true. And we didn't notice the wanting, and we didn't notice the urge. Feel the urge. Like, I want to get up from my seat. I want to go get the thing. I want to do the thing that brings me the release. I want to escape the situation. I want to turn myself off. Like, well, the wanting for freedom, yes, but feel the urges. You'll notice those are uncomfortable. Those are difficult. There's like an urge. Go get the thing. You will suffer until you get the thing. Like, feel that. By the way, here's where your beautiful breath and your eyes are a support. You don't want to struggle with this. You want to make this as easy as possible. There are urges that have been coming out of this beautiful wanting. These urges driving us to do something. Welcome them. Welcome the urges. Can you feel them? your breath, your eyes. Can you see them in your mind's eye? These urges. And quite possibly not. Isn't that interesting? The urges, we don't notice them. We just notice the difficult thing and the dream of them being satisfied in some way, and we run through the automatic process. This works because we're just noticing what is really true, and we're being really true and good and beautiful with it. So when we feel the wanting, then feel the urges. These urges, when you can rest in them, they no longer function. Every urge is born, has a life, and then dies. Every urge has some energy that is yours, and it plays itself out. Every urge is like, do the thing, and whether you do the thing or not, the urge is going to end. What we do is we try to end the urge by giving it what it wants. We do the thing. We eat the food. We do the drugs. Whatever it is. And then that urge is gone, having accomplished its mission. And it reports back to the unconscious mind and says, it worked. We solved the problem. Instead, feel the urge and watch it. Watch it be born. Watch it live. Be comfortable. All the way. Your breath, your eyes. Watch it in. It's not about watching it in. That's not the solution. The solution is watching it. The solution is being in the urge. When we see the urge and don't react, a message is sent to the unconscious mind. That urge was not useful. That did not accomplish the goal. So, in finding our own breath and relaxing the eyes, we send messages to the unconscious mind. They're like, yeah, actually, we're good. We're good right now. We are activated at our depth. The base of our being, the spirit rides within the breath, and it's known directly because we've listened for it. What's the best breath? And we listened. And we heard, breathe like this. It may have been a faint whisper in the beginning, but more and more it's a knowing of I am listening to the depth of my being and breathing for me in the most beautiful way. And the tension in the eyes. I will not run from fear. I will not chase after beauty. And in doing so, we land in the present moment where our bliss is, where our pleasure, where our wanting, our heart's desire. And it will fire urges, and if we see them and feel them and know them, and come to see like what they're doing, how they feel, what they're for, without reacting, stand in the fire as comfortably as you can, then they pass. Then our wanting, by necessity, needs to figure out, well, how else am I going to create joy, beauty, love, opportunity, ease, acceptance, trust, all of the beautiful qualities that can happen in a human life. This wanting will find a new way because those urges didn't work. They were not accepted. Pretty soon after seeing the urges a few times, we can then have the realization, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to cultivate that urge. I'm going to end that urge, and I'm going to create some new urges to come up. I want some new life, some new love, some new joy, new opportunity, new battles to fight, new challenges. And so this wanting, which we welcome, and as our spirit will find new ways, beautiful. The work is to, can I recognize the urge? Don't fight with the result of the urge. Move upstream, feel the urge, and don't react. And watch it play out. And reclaim its energy. And send it back to source. Feel the wanting itself, the light. So through this process of meeting our urges, if you find yourself now in a place closer to yourself, more beautiful, ask yourself this: is this not better than whatever you were trying to get from your urge in the first place? Is this not better than the binge? It's certainly better than the shame or the guilt. It's probably better than the results, temporary and harmful, of whatever the binge was. It's better than the urge. It's all the way back to the wanting and your breath, your spirit, the softness of your eyes, and the development of your life to get what you actually want that nourishes you. So this process, if you notice this process has been helpful, I implore you to master this process. Watch this video again. Feel free to book a session with me. Like, learn what's happening here. This is your journey to find yourself in the middle of who you are. Thank you very much for your kind attention. Wishing you the very best. Follow for more. Be well. Bye-bye.